Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers. I'm looking this morning at a relatively small book. It's this one here, the Environmental Law Handbook, in the 7th edition now by Law Society Publishing. It's been written by 3 people this time, Valerie Fogelman, Trevor Hellawell and Andrew Wiseman. And Mr. Hellawell was the original editor, but he's brought new people in because of the changes that are taking place within the sort of green issues that we face. There's a review on Flickr and the web which you might like to see. The book itself is very much in keeping with the Law Society brand, if you like. Paragraph numbering at the sides there. You've got useful information at the front, the usual regulations and so forth, and at the back a very good index. And you've also got, of course, the appendices, which are very important. Now, this is what we say about the book. We've given it the title Explaining Our More Complex Environmental Brief Succinctly, and that's what they do, because for the 7th edition Hellawell and his team have continued to provide an accessible and concise guide to the effect of environmental law on property, financial and business transactions, and there are updates, as I've indicated, which have taken place in the last 5 years, with emphasis going in other directions, which I'll talk about in a moment. The handbook, always intended as a short but detailed guide for the practitioner, sets out a brief on environmental law, basics if you like, and it's been comprehensively revised by experts in their field who've been brought in to take account of all the recent developments that have taken place in both legislation and case law. So the 7th edition has benefited from an improved breadth of coverage brought in by the team, and it's got new chapters which I've indicated on climate change and environmental damage, insolvency, planning, development and environmental consultants. So therefore it's got a fairly wide general information readership that it's looking for, as well as the specialists as a first-stop shop. There's also practical advice on how to identify risks and mitigate environmental liabilities, especially with the new legislation. Now, all these titles in the Legal Handbook series from Law Society Publishing continue to produce, in our view, a library collection of expert specialist books just for those who are legal practitioners and acting in for a range of clients in this area of law, which of course covers a pretty wide field if you think about it. As Hellawell says, having gargled but rarely drunk from the fountain of environmental knowledge over the years, he says, he's taken on an erudite team of contributors to help him out this time round. There are 13 chapters altogether and 7 appendices in just over the 300 pages, so he's had his work cut out to set up the environmental stage for the next few years, and I think he succeeds in his aims very well indeed. Of particular note to read afresh are the chapters on climate change, which I think is a very important one, and also the environmental damage regulations, together with coverage of both residential and commercial property transactions, which I think probably will be of great interest to solicitors. In addition, we found that Appendix A, covering a wide range of precedents, will be invaluable for the busy solicitor. You'll see that Appendix A is actually very detailed and split into various sections. So what I'd say concluding this presentation is that Law Society Publishing, as a remit, naturally focuses both on the practical aspects of our professional work and the requirements of the specialist legal areas, which environmental law is just one. The aim, therefore, of this handbook is to explain the complexities of environmental law in what I think is a relatively straightforward style. So thank you to the 3 editors, because they do just that, and their substantial expertise has brought to the subject a great deal of, I think, gravitas at an important time for us when we're dealing with green issues in a very different way from probably when the book first came out. So thank you to all concerned for an excellent contribution. Bye-bye.